Ripple XRP, so could we potentially be seeing a government shutdown? Maybe not a complete one, but perhaps a partial shutdown. We're going to take a look at that, as well as Donald Trump. He has spoken about Bitcoin and how he now feels about it, as well as a project with HSBC and the Hong Kong dollar. Now this also relates to the XRP ledger. Of course, we will be looking at the price action of both XRP and XLM coin today. So all I ask from you are two things, which is to smash that like button and to subscribe to the channel as well. So it is that time of the year again. As you know, when it comes to a new financial year, we obviously have the government that will be allocating the new budget for the fiscal year. So it says over here that the government begins preparing for a partial shutdown. So when it comes to the new budget for the year, if Congress is not able to agree, then what usually happens is we have that shutdown of the government until we have that agreement, and that means that we have a reduction in the services, but only essential services will be open. And so you'll see over here it says that there is an indication that the threat of a looming government shutdown is getting serious on Friday, as of course if they fail to reach a deal on the new spending by March the 1st. So today is the 24th of February, and we basically only have just roughly a week until we reach that. As we know, we have seen a lot of spending happening in the US anyway, and their debt has amassed roughly around about $37 trillion the last time that I checked. And so this is a potential warning of what we could be seeing if they don't meet that deadline. And in terms of that shutdown, of course, they will be having a contingency plan though if it does happen, but I don't think that we will be seeing a full shutdown. Over here from Crypto T, we have Donald Trump talking about Bitcoin, whether he would embrace it or not. Now, for his recent opinions, he has been against cryptocurrency, and I also believe that he has been against CBDCs as well. He very much believes in the US dollar, but let's take a look at what he has said.
China obviously has its own push for the Chinese digital currency. But isn't the next logical step for you to embrace Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin obviously is decentralized. The government can't get its hands on it. What about Bitcoin to all the young people, including African Americans, who are very interested in it?
Well, a lot of people are doing it. I always liked one currency. I call it a currency. I like the dollar. But a lot of people are doing it. And frankly, it's taken a life of its own. You probably have to do some regulation, as you know. But many people are embracing it. And more I'm seeing people wanting to pay Bitcoin. And you're seeing something that's interesting. So I can live with it one way or the other. I've always liked one really powerful thing, and that's called the dollar. Yeah.
So it seems like as if he has accepted that Bitcoin is going to be inevitable, because a lot of people use Bitcoin to make payments and also with the Lightning Network as well. However, it doesn't seem like as if he is pro-Bitcoin himself as a Republican candidate. It seems like as if he is just accepting it because of the fact that a lot of people are now using it. Also, I'm not quite sure what his knowledge is in relation to cryptocurrency, because he has only mentioned Bitcoin, but we know that there are so many other digital assets out there that you can use to make payments. But he has said twice in this video that he believes in the US dollar, and he believes it being one of the most, powerful currencies out there, which of course is good in and of itself, because you definitely want to have one of the most strongest currencies in the world. That is what you should be putting forth in terms of being government. However, it doesn't seem like as if he's actually for cryptocurrency, and so if he was elected, I still think that he will be putting the US dollar at first, which of course you should do, but I don't think that we're going to be seeing that much with him in terms of crypto and with, for example, the stablecoin regulation and things like that. If he were to be elected, he has said before that he was against CBDCs, and he will not be allowing for that to happen, despite the fact that other areas, for example, the European region, will be embracing a digital euro, so they will actually be on that road much faster compared with the US. But in general, the government always wants to be controlling what you do, and whether it's Donald Trump or somebody else, I still think that they're going to be wanting to block you from using cryptocurrency. Over here we have from the Wrath of Cayman that the US House Committee on Agriculture, which holds jurisdiction over commodity exchanges, published a pamphlet on digital asset myths, including the XRP decision that we had last year in July, and that is the offering that determines security sales, not an inherent quality. So we have over here the myth, which is all digital assets other than Bitcoin are securities and should be regulated by the SEC. But the fact is that not all digital assets are securities, and while some digital assets can be offered as part of an investment contract and some may be tokenized, a clear framework for determining when a digital asset is not a security is critical. So of course we have the XRP decision, and that was last year in July, and it determined that XRP was only part of an investment contract when offered directly by Ripple to institutional investors, and the decision called into question the SEC's position that practically all digital assets are securities. The SEC's policy was rejected by the court, which highlights the need for legislation. Now, this is good news, but a lot of people will be asking, well, if we're seeing good news after good news, why is the price of XRP not going up? In general, it's usually to do with supply and demand, and obviously with the hype of crypto. However, the fact of the matter is that we still have not concluded the lawsuit, but it goes to show that this example is going to be the turning point in the cryptocurrency industry. And once we are able to conclude that lawsuit and get that off of our shoulders, I definitely think that we will be able to accelerate even further with XRP. Over here from Smoke, we have this short video. Now it is to do with HSBC and the Hong Kong e-dollar, and it's talk about the offline functionality and how you can make payments doing that instead of being online.
One of the big challenges of retail CBDC is to handle peak traffic as well as connectivity breaks, or offline BIS. Our offline DLT can enable payment offline, a sandbox with HSBC Bank and 10 finalists for EHKD. A typical retail payment with POS but no internet starts at $37. POS, scan the QR code and receive an XRP check of $2. Now is $35. Pay another $3. It shows $32. As the ledgers on the blockchain cannot be verified offline, double spending cannot be avoided. iBonus's offline DLT uses two trusted mechanisms to prevent it. Virtual card digital certificate specifies the initial user account balance. Transaction digital certificate specifies the latest balance attached to the user's offline ledger. In a typical offline transaction, both certificates are sent as a QR code to the POS for verification. If sufficient funds, invoice ID, dollar amount, R address, and the new TDC are sent over Bluetooth, an XRP check signed with the user's private key is sent over Bluetooth to the POS. When the internet is available, checks are submitted to the blockchain. With XRP, we can provide a complete online and offline retail payment system with instant settlement for a market of $2 trillion transaction volume today. This highly secure and trusted system will be widely adopted as the banking industry is converting to ISO 20022.
Offline payments, of course, will be important, especially when we have those outages happening. But you saw how quickly it was in order to make that payment. When the QR code was scanned and it went from one bank account to another, it only took roughly around about 1 to 2 seconds. And so this is what we can do with the XRPL. So let's have a look at the price action for today. We are currently trading at 0.5451. We are up by 1.63% on the one-day chart. For the 24-hour volume, we are down by 9.11%, and we are trading at $907.5 million. So in the earlier hours of the morning of today, we were trading at 0.5345, and we have just climbed up a bit now, roughly to 0.5461, just under the 55-cent target. For the 7-day chart, we are down by 0.78%. For the start of the week, we were trading at 0.592, so we've basically come back to where we were originally. And then on the 18th at 0.5619, on the 19th at 0.561, on the 20th at 0.5644, so we climbed up pretty higher. The highest that we went for the week was 0.5739. We weren't able to touch the 58-cent mark, and we were still roughly around about 2.5 cents away from 60 cents. And the lowest that we actually went to for the week was 0.5292, but we were able to bounce back up from that, and now we are up and above by 1.5 cents. For the 1 month chart, we are up by a nice 5.93%. We are still doing pretty good. I mean, at the start of February, we were trading at 0.4952. We are now up by 4.5 cents from where we are. Currently, we've had these nice spikes to 57 cents. My next price target for XRP coin is at 55 cents in the short term, but I am looking towards that 58-cent mark. If we can reach there, then it'll be a question as to whether or not we can actually hit 60 cents. Let's take a look at the price action of XLM coin today. So currently we are trading at 0.116. We are up by 0.5% on the one-day chart. For the 1 week chart, we are up by 2.2%. I mean, we started off pretty nicely. We were trading at 0.114, and then we were just gradually climbing all of the way to 0.118, and then we did actually hit the 12-cent mark. That is my price target for Stellar XLM, but we weren't able to hold it. We had that nice run. We came back down to 0.115, and then we went up to 0.118, but took another dip all the way to 0.1111. Then we took a nice run to 0.117, and now we are at the same price point at 0.117. I want to see more stability for XLM coin at the mid-range of 11 cents before we are able to pop off to 12 cents first. But on the 1 month chart, we're looking pretty good. We are up by 4.5%, considering the fact that in the beginning of February, we were trading at 0.107. So a nice 1.3 cent move up from there. Guys, if you want daily Ripple XRP and Stellar XLM coin news, subscribe to the channel and like the video as well.